Hi guys, welcome to Picama Stitches. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be showing us how to make this beautiful princess dart top with this cute belt up collar and this extravagant and beautiful sleeve with a pencil skirt. So this tutorial is loaded. Kindly stay to the end. So first of all, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 4. Can you see? Okay, and I'm starting with the skirt part. So what will guide your fold is the biggest part of your lower part. For me is my hip. Then you add minimum 2 inches to that. Okay, so at the starting point, I've gone ahead to mark half of an inch, which will serve as a starting line and also as my waist point. From that point, I'm going ahead to mark my waist to my hip point, which for me is 10 inches. I'm marking it twice. Okay, so I can get accurate and straight line. Now from that point, I'm marking my waist to my knee point. So whatever your knee point is, go ahead and mark that. And the next measurement we're going to be taking is my waist to the full length of the skirt. Remember, a waistband is going to be attached to this. So whatever you're marking, take out your waistband from it. So for me, my full length is 40 minus the waistband. Okay, so plus the waistband, the full length of my skirt is 42 inches. I hope that's understandable. So that's my shoulder to my waist to hip, waist to knee, and then the full length. Now remember, all our markings will be starting from this folded part. Okay, from where you see me place my tape. So at this top part, I'm going to be marking my waist measurement divided by 4. Okay, so whatever your waist measurement is, mark it from this folded part and then add your sewing allowance. So I added 1.5 inch. At the hip point, I'm going ahead to mark my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm also adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I'll go ahead to connect it to the waist point. You can go ahead and use your pattern master, but I think I just love using my freehand, or I'm used to it. Okay, but if you're not sure of what to do, go ahead and use your pattern master. Now for my knee, whatever you have at the hip point, including the sewing allowance, you can go ahead and take out 2 inches or 1.5 from it. But I took out 1.5 inch. If you want it to be really penciled, you can take out 2 inches. Okay, so after taking out 1.5 inch from what I have at my hip, I'm going ahead to connect it back to the hip point. Now for the full length, you can also take what you have at the knee and subtract minimum 1 inch from it. Remember, as your body slopes down, it gets more narrower. Okay, but if you want it to be a straight skirt, you don't really want it penciled, you can take what you have at your knee straight down to the hem. Okay, like I did for mine here. But if you want it to be penciled, go ahead and take out either 1 inch or 1.5 at the full hem. Okay, it depends on the shape you want to achieve. So for me, I just took straight down what I had at my knee point straight to the hem of my skirt. I hope this is clear enough. So can you see, we've gone ahead to create our shape. Now at this hip point, okay, we're going to be creating our zipper pocket or butt contour. Okay, so at this hip point, I'm going to be marking from this line, okay, 1.5 inch, okay, for my zipper. But at the top part here, I'm going to be marking 1 inch. I hope you can see this. So go ahead and connect your 1.5 to your 1 inch. Now after this, from the hip point, you can come down by 3 inches the way you see me do, and connect that your 1.5 inch to your under butt. Okay, now from there you can take 1 inch all the way to the hem, which will be for your slit, like the way you see me do. But I'm not going to be using this pattern. I've made many tutorials on the skirt pattern, but today I'm going to be using another method. You can go ahead and connect 1 inch all the way to the hem, okay, to create your slit. Immediately you get to the knee, you can create whatever design you want. But for me, I'm just going ahead to slant this. Can you see the way I slanted it? But I'm going to go even more deeper. So first, I'm going to mark where the front part stops. Can you see? After getting that line, from my knee point, I'm going inwards by half of an inch. meaning the skirt will automatically create a slit for itself to wherever I want it to stop. Okay, from where the front folded part stopped, I went inwards again by 1/2 inch and connected it back to the initial 1 inch line. I hope this is clear. Just take your time to watch this over and over. You will understand. So I don't need to create a slit from 1 inch above my knee line. I've already created a slit for myself. Now when we're putting this together, it will be more understandable to you. Okay, this is another method I use to get a beautiful skirt. Okay, a well fitted and contoured skirt for myself. There are other methods on this channel, but you can go ahead and try this out and thank me later. So just watch the way I'm cutting it. I'm going inwards, so automatically I don't need to have slit allowance from my knee point. So if you want it to be lower, go down from your knee. Please, if it's not clear to you, let me know in the comment section. Now because of the shape, you need to notch this part for you to know that this is your zipper area. If not, you might get confused. Okay, so this part now becomes our zipper area. Can you see where the zipper allowance stops? Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut the same thing for my lining. But before we do, we'll still create another contour at the top part of the back part of our skirt. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch. You can do 1.5 and slope it. Just watch the way I do. Do not allow it get to the sides. Can you see? This will help the skirt sit perfectly on your back. I wanted to show us the fit of this skirt on me, but I was late for church, so I had to put it on my mannequin. Okay, I pray one of these days I'll just put the pictures out there. So let's go ahead and mark our top. So for our top piece, can you see what I have? I have my fabric folded into two. I'm going to be marking on my lining. So from the top, you're going to be marking down 2 inch allowance from the top. Okay, we're going to leave that allowance for our belt up collar. Now if you want your collar to really go up, if you have a tall neck, you can leave 2.5 inches, but for a average height, 2 inches is just perfect. So I'm going ahead to mark 2 inch from the top. I'll connect it into a straight line. Now from this 2 inch, that's where all our markings, all our measurements will be starting from. Please, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed to this channel. Thank you and God bless you. So from this folded part, I'm going to be marking my shoulder divided by 2, and after that I'll go ahead to mark our 3 inch neck width. Now from that shoulder part, I'm going to be marking down 1 inch for our shoulder slope. Now from that same 2 inches line we came down from, I'm going to be marking my shoulder to bust point. Okay, if you're used to the way I mark here, I'll mark it twice no matter how short I am, just to be sure I'm having a straight line. Okay, and then my shoulder to under bust, go ahead and mark that as well. After that, you're going to be marking your shoulder to waist point. Okay, so I'm going ahead to mark the same thing at this other part. Sorry, this tutorial is going to be a very long one, so please pay attention. Okay, now from that part, you're going to be marking down to your hip point for now. Okay, or from the shoulder, just mark down to the hem of your top where you want your top to stop. For me, it's 26 inches plus hemming allowance. So from the shoulder, mark to where you want your top to stop and then connect all the lines into a straight line. I'm going ahead to label bust point, under bust, waistline, and then full length of the top. Don't mind the way I'm writing this thing. Okay, just follow what I'm doing. Now after doing all of that, I'm going ahead to straighten out this line. We're going to be getting our chest line, which is your round bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5 inch. So whatever you have, that's automatically your chest line. Now I'm going to measure from that line to my bust point. The difference I have, I'm going ahead to take that same difference, okay, so I can get a straight line, and this line becomes my chest line. Okay, so just go ahead and mark your chest line. Now that chest line area, I'm going to be marking my 8 inch shoulder width, okay, at that line, so we can create our armhole curve as well while also creating our chest line. So connect this into a straight line and then go ahead and draw out your chest line. Please, if you've watched this tutorial up to this point and you've not subscribed or liked this video, please kindly subscribe and like, okay? It encourages me to take out time to make tutorials for us. I really appreciate. Thank you so much, guys. So let's continue. After creating our basic bodies, at this bust point, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus half of an inch. Now this half inch is added because we're marking directly on fabric. If you're not marking directly on fabric, if you're working with your pattern paper, you can just do your nipple to nipple divided by 2. Then when cutting on fabric, you can add your allowance. Now at this armhole point, we're going to get the midpoint of our armhole. Okay, I folded my tape into 2 and I've gotten the midpoint. Now after getting the midpoint for a plus size, you come out by 0.75. For a slim person, you come out by ½ inch, and then you slope back to your shoulder slant. Now after creating all of this, I'm going to go ahead and connect my nipple to nipple measurement into a straight line, just the way you see me do. Okay, connect it into a straight line, and after this we're going ahead to create our underbust. That's our tightening at the underbust and at the upper area. Now at this inner part, I'm going to be coming in by ½ of an inch for my tightening, ½ an inch at the underbust, ½ inch at the waist point. Now for this other part, for a busty person, a plus size, I'm going ahead to do 2 inches at this other part. So altogether my tightening, I'm using 2.5 inches. And then from the bust point, I'm coming down by 1 inch. So can you see what I have? 1 inch from the bust, ½ of an inch at the inner part, 2 inches at the sides. From the lower part, I'm going to be coming up by 3 inches because I don't want my dart to get to the full hem of my top. So just go ahead and watch how I connect this. Now this method means it's going to give us more tightening effect at the underbust area, and it means your tightening will not get to your hip point. Okay, so just go ahead and connect it the way you see me do, and it will end at the 3 inches above the hip area. Can you see what I have? So I'm going ahead to connect my ½ inch, my 2 inches. For a slim person, you can do 1.5 or 1 inch on both sides, okay, but for a plus size, 2.5 3 inches is fine, depending on how busty the person is. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to connect this back to my 1 inch below the bust point, just the way you see me do. Can you see what we have here? Can you see what we have? So after doing that, to create our princess dart, I'm going to connect this nipple point back to the midpoint of my armhole. Can you see? I've connected it to the midpoint of my armhole. This is the midpoint, and I've connected it right there. So in order to create the other leg for our princess dart, I'm going to be coming down from the midpoint by 2 inches. Now this depends on the kind of princess dart you're creating. Okay, so I'm coming down by 2 inch, still from the 1 inch bust point. I'm going to connect to that 2 inch mark, but this time you're going to extend it some more inwards, just the way you see me do. From this leg, I'm going to be coming in by 2 inches, which I came down by as well, and then I'll create my armhole curve. Is that easy as that? Okay, I have another tutorial on this channel on princess dart, so if this is too fast for you, you can watch that or replay this. Okay, so at this bust area, I'm going to be marking my bust round divided by 4, like you see me do, and any dots that pass through that line, 0.2, you're going to replace it, and after replacing that, you're going to be adding your 2 inches sewing allowance, and I'm taking that all the way to my chest area. Okay, Now at the under bust area, you're going to be marking your under bust measurements divided by 4, and then you're going to be replacing this dart that you took out earlier to avoid shortage. You're going to go ahead and replace that dart, and after replacing the dart, you go ahead to add your sewing 2 inches sewing allowance as well. I'm going ahead to confirm the dart that I took out. It was 2.5, and after that I'm going ahead to add my 2 inches seam allowance, and I'm connecting it to the bust point. Now my under bust and my waist measurement is the same thing. That's why you see me taking it all the way down to my waist. So if yours is different, go ahead and mark it. At the full length of the top, I'm going ahead to mark my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm adding 1 inch, which is to join these two. Remember, this will be separated. I added 1 inch for joining, and I'm going to be adding 4 or 5 inches to have that kind of conical effect at the lower part. Now if you want yours straight, just go ahead and connect it straight, but I wanted it to have a little bit of shape at that point. Now let's go back to the top part. Remember, we took out 3-inch neck width. We're going to be marking that same 3 inches neck width at the top part, the 2 inches allowance we left at the top part. Okay, we didn't remember to create a shoulder slant, so I'm just going ahead to create my slant right there, and then I extended the 3-inch neck width all the way to the top. Now I'm going to be working with 1.5 for my belt up collar. That's how long I want it to be on my neck area. Now you can do 1 inch depending on how tall your neck is. Some persons do 2 inches, but I think 1.5 is just perfect. So I'm going ahead to create that 1.5 inch line. Now from this, our 3 inches neck width line, I'm going inwards by 0.2 inches. Can you see what I have there? Inwards by 0.2 inches from this line. Okay, and then from this same line, I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch. I hope this is clear. I hope this is really clear. From this line, inward by 0.2. From that same line, come to this other way by 0.5 inch. Now you can use your pattern master, but I'm going to be using my free hand. I'll connect it to this 0.5 inch. Now what this does is to create that curved effect that you saw at the neck area, and then I'm going ahead to connect my 1.5 back to that line. Can you see what we have? I've gone ahead to create a curve. Now after that, we're going to be creating our neck depth. For me, I'm doing 8 inches, which is just perfect. You can go lower or you can do less. So we're going to be connecting this 8-inch back to this place you see my finger, to this corner that we came in by 0.5. okay, so go ahead and connect in a curved manner. Sorry guys. So I'm going ahead to connect. You can go in by 0.2 if you don't want your v-neck to be too wide. Can you see the way I'm connecting it? Connect your neck depth to that corner, that's 0.5 inch that you came in by. Can you see what we have? And we are done. So at this point, you can go ahead and add 1/2 inch or 0.25 inch, okay, of joining allowance at the shoulder part, at the neck depth area. Okay, so after adding that, we go ahead to cut this out. It's as simple as that. Okay, so if you follow these steps, you end up with the same results or even more beautiful results that you saw on the thumbnail or at the beginning of this video. Now at the edge of this top, I don't just want it to be straight. You can leave yours that way, but I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches is just perfect, and I'm going to be connecting it. You can connect it back to the dart leg, okay, but I just connected it just the way you see me do, just to have that curved effect at the edge, and then we'll go ahead to cut this out. I didn't fast forward this because I want you to see how I cut this. I'm cutting from the allowance I added, okay. Now see where I'm cutting through so you do not make a mistake. Okay, go ahead and cut, follow the marked lines. I still want to use this opportunity while we're cutting to say thank you to the subscribers. Now YouTube gave me an update on last month's performance. Please, very important, go ahead and notch your bust point, your under bust, and your waist area. Very important, so that when joining, okay, you will know, you ensure those lines matches. Okay, so back to what I was saying, guys. Now when I got the update, they made me understand I had over 41 subscribers just for last month, and I'm really really grateful. I'm really thankful for those of you supporting this channel, my new subscribers and the old subscribers, those that keep stopping by to watch this tutorial and liking and subscribing. I'm really grateful. May God bless and reward each and every one of you immensely in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm so grateful. You don't know how grateful I am. Okay, in less than 1 year, look at where we are, and we can do more together. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And if you're watching, you've not subscribed, please subscribe, because more interesting tutorials are coming up on this channel very soon, and you won't want to miss that. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So let's get right back into our tutorial. Okay, so I'm going ahead to do my cutting. I notched at this other part on this key point, so go ahead and notch on this side as well. I'm notching at my bust point, my under bust area, and on my waist area. Very important. And I'm going ahead to cut out the slants we did at the lower part. So can you see what we have here? So after that, let me show you how to cut out this neck area. I'm going to cut out this 1/2 inch first. Now you need to be careful here, because you're cutting right on your fabric, so you do not make a mistake. After taking out that 1/2 inch, I'm going ahead to cut out my neck depth. Now I didn't add that allowance because what I took out wasn't even up to 1/4 inch. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut out my neck depth. Now this part is supposed to be pointing, so I'm going ahead to create that pointy effect. Can you see what I have there? And you're done. Can you see how cute this is? Now when you open this up, you've gone ahead to create your belt up collar for the front, and also your princess dart on the sides. Can you see what we have? So cute and beautiful. Now for the back piece, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 2 for the back. Now the first thing we're going to be doing is to create a zipper allowance. I'm going ahead to mark 2 inch for my zipper allowance, and I'll connect this into a straight line. Now for this back piece, you can decide to go ahead and mark all over again and draft it out, but for me, I'm going to be bringing in the front piece as my guide to cut it out. Okay, I hope this is understandable. Okay, now after creating your zipper allowance, you're going to bring in your front piece. Now this is my center front piece. You're going to make it rest at that zipper area. Now you can decide to mark it afresh, like I said earlier. Go ahead and mark your 2 inch from the shoulder, mark out your basic body, and do just almost the same thing at the front, just that you will have that high effect. You will have to come down for the back neck width. Okay, but I'm not going to be going through that route. Okay, I don't want this tutorial to be too long, but I'm going to be showing us an easy way to achieve that. So I'm also bringing in the front side, the side of the front piece. I'm going to be using my pin to hold them in place, and then we're going to be cutting out the exact same thing. Then I'll show us how to cut out the back area, because there's no bust at the back. It needs to be straight. So ensure your center front is laying right at the zipper line that we created. Can you see what I have there? And I'm going to use my pin to hold it in place. Now mind you, I just drew out this line, but I'm not going to be working with that line. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut the exact same thing out. Then I'll show us how to alter the neck area for the back. Now sorry guys, while editing I didn't see the part where I worked on this center back area, but with what I'm going to explain, you definitely get it. Okay, now the inner part here is going to be the exact same thing. So for the sides, I'm going to be cutting the exact same thing. Just watch the way I'm doing mine. So now when you get to this bust area, can you see the under bust? Let me show you what to do. You're going to be lifting this bust cover, and this is the bust cover, okay, where your bust is. We do not have bust at the back, so you're going to be making that part to be straight. Okay, can you see what I'm doing there? And then you're going to be extending this corner by 1/2 inch. Okay, let me flip it to the wrong side to show you. Just go ahead and make it straight. There's no bust at the back, so it has to be straight. It's the front that has bust. Can you see what we have here? It's straight at that point. So, and I extended by 1/2 inch at this part, and we're done with the side. Now for the inner part here at the back, I'm just going ahead to cut out this part straight. Go ahead and cut out the shoulder area the same way. Okay, now after doing that, at this tip area, you're going to create that line, draw it out into your zipper allowance area. I had gone ahead to create to avoid zipper bulge. Okay, I don't know how I lost that video, so sorry guys. I came down by 1/2 inch, okay, to create the neckline for the back. Connect it to this point. Can you see what we have there? Now you can come down by 1 inch, okay, depending on how low you want the back neck depth to be, and then connect your back neck depth right to that corner. Can you see what we have? So the only difference here is your zipper allowance. Whatever you're doing at the shoulder is the same thing. Just come down by 1/2 inch or 1 inch and connect it back to this point. Now I've created my zipper area. I came in to avoid zipper bulge. Okay, that's all that we did there. Now I've gone ahead to cut out the exact same thing on my main fabric. Can you see what we have? And also for our back pieces, we've also created our back pieces. I've cut out on my main fabric. Now for the front piece, I'm not going to be using lining. Okay, I'm going to be using the main fabric both as lining, can you see what I have, and as the main fabric. Now some persons go ahead to use the center back as well, both main fabric and the lining. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can go ahead and make use of that. Now for my skirt, I've gone ahead to cut out on my lining, and I came up, the lining is shorter by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead and put them together. Now after putting my skirt together, can you see what we have? Have you seen that butt area, the zipper area? Can you see what we have? So neat and beautiful. And this is the effect of coming up by 1 inch, the effect of shortening your lining. Okay, your lining won't be showing at the lower part. So I'll go ahead and open up my front. Okay, and then we're going to be putting this together. Now when you open this up, you're going to be bringing the other piece for the other side and the other piece for the other side. Now this notch will guide you to know where your zipper area is. Okay, so we're going to be placing this right sides facing each other. Make sure it's well aligned, and then you sew it up with the sewing allowance that you left. Remember, we used some inches to turn the both sides, so you're going to take that out. Now we're repeating the same thing at this point. Ensure everything is well aligned, and then you go ahead and shapen the sides. Now can you see that the slit is created automatically? Now where the slit ends, that's where you're going to be holding your skirt from to hold your zipper area, and this lower part has given us that effect at the inner area. So we're done with our skirt part. I'll go ahead and join it, and then what will be left is our band. Now I'm gone ahead to attach stay just to the main fabric. Okay, I didn't add to the lining. Okay, both for the back and the front pieces. Now what I did was this. Let me show you guys. I made this neck area. Okay, I added more stay to have more structure. I doubled the stay. So you need that effect. That's what will help your collar to stand. It will give it that standing effect. Now if you have collar stay, you can use it just at the neck area. This is my center back. Okay, and I'll go ahead and put them together. Okay, that's what we have for the center back. Now for the center front, I added stay just the main piece, but at this neck area, can you see I've added stay to it to have that structure. Now this will help it to stand like I said earlier. Okay, so this is what we have for the center front, and also I've added stay to the sides. I'll also put everything together. So you're going to be joining right sides to right sides. Go ahead and attach this. Now this is my skirt part. Can you see what we have? I've gone ahead to shapen the skirt. Can you see the lower part? And this is the back. So beautiful. Can you see? Now this type of skirt creates the slit automatically. Can you see what we have at the slit area? And this is our butt area, our back area. Now we're going to be attaching our waistband to this skirt. The length of this fabric, the width, sorry, is 5 inches. Okay, now when you put it on fold, you have 2.5. After using half of an inch to sew to the skirt, I'll be left with 2 inches. You can go ahead to add stay to this for more structure. Okay, now after adding your stay, you can fold it into 2 and attach on this side to your waistband, or you can go ahead and fold 1/4 of an inch at this part, 1/4 of an inch at the other part, and then you go ahead and collapse it and attach to your waist area. Okay, just go ahead and attach your waistband and attach your zipper. Now this is the back area. I've gone ahead to join it. This is what we have on the main fabric, and I've done the same thing on the lining pieces as well. Now for my front piece. So after joining both front pieces, you can go ahead to attach a bracket to this. Okay, but I didn't want to do that. Can you see what we have? And this is the lining. Can you see what we have? So beautiful. I'm loving this top already. So you're going to be placing these right sides facing each other. Ensure the V area is matching. You can go ahead and use your pin to hold it in place. Okay, and then you're going to be sewing from this corner, from this point, okay, back to the V area and back to the other area. You go ahead and sew up the sides and the lower part, on it with your lining. Now I'm going to be using the back to show us what I mean. Okay, you're going to be placing the lining with the main fabric right sides facing each other, just like you see me do. You place them right sides facing each other. Now what we're doing at the back piece is the same thing you're going to be doing at the front after sewing up the neck area. So what we'll do is this: you sew up this neck area and then you stitch the center back then you stitch up the side. After stitching the side, you stitch the lower part, okay, and you bring everything out from your armhole opening. Repeat the same thing to the other piece. Now I've gone ahead to do this on our front piece. Can you see I've stitched the neck area? Make sure you notch it and iron it down flat. So can you see what we have? Notch it, iron it perfectly. This is what we have. I've also turned the neck area. Can you see what we have? The sides and the lower part. I've also repeated the same thing on the back as well. Can you see what we have? So after that, you're going to be putting the center back together, and you're going to be coming down by 3 inches at the center back and stitch just 3 inches, okay? Just for us to have a guide on how to join it. We're going to open this up later. So let me show us how to create that belt up effect. You're going to be placing your fabrics right side facing each other. Now bring this open part, the armhole area, sorry, the shoulder area, okay? You're going to be matching it with the front piece, just like we turn our shoulder neatly. You're going to be using one piece, okay, the lining, to turn everything over. I hope this is clear. To wrap everything together, and after doing that, you stitch down with 1/2 inch. I'll repeat same thing to the other part and shaping the sides. So this is what I have. Can you see? We've created our belt top collar. Is it not so easy? Can you see the inner part? So neat. So this is why I said some people like to use the same fabric at the center back, okay, but it's not a problem. So this is what we have on the sides. At the lower part, this is so beautiful. So you will go ahead now to open up this center back area, and then what we'll do now is to go ahead and fix in our zipper. Now from the top part, you're going to be marking where your zipper ends. You close the lower part up, and then you fix in your zipper. Now this tutorial was getting so long, so I went ahead to attach this beautiful sleeve. If you want to see how I created this sleeve, let me know in the comments, okay? The next tutorial might just be about the sleeve. Can you see how beautiful this top is? Tell me you don't love it. You're not going to be recreating this. Can you see the back, the unique sleeve? This is so cute. And this is our skirt. Can you see the waist? Can you see that effect? The butt area, our beautiful slits, the hem, everything is just so perfect. Please, if this tutorial was helpful to you, kindly let me know in the comments section. And then about the sleeve, please tell me if you're interested in seeing how I made this sleeve. I'll definitely make a tutorial on how to create this sleeve. The video was too long. I didn't want it to be too long. Thank you guys. Bye bye.